I mean, to me, it's really, really sad what's happened so far with Tom Aspinall. I think I'm a big fan of Tom Aspinall, and I think that the UFC has treated him really, really incorrectly, especially given the fact that they had that issue with Francis Ngannou. But I think, obviously, Tom Aspinall's dad, Andy Aspinall, didn't do themselves any favors when he said something about boxing right before that last fight, and then the way that things turned out for him, super unfortunate with Tom Aspinall getting the eye poke from Ciryl Gane. So like in my opinion, it's like, and I'm just obviously speculating here, but it's just like, yeah, he probably feels really like, and he put out a tweet like not too long ago, like maybe a month ago or something, if I'm not mistaken, saying like, oh, it just sucks, like everybody's on my tail about this. And it's funny because when I was watching this fight, I was back in Canada, so I was actually visiting one of my friends, and my friend was so adamant. He's like, bro, that fight was not going well for Tom Aspinall, and that's why he like decided to go ahead and just stop the fight and act like this eye poke was a big deal. But at the end of the day, like we don't know what's happening in these. And from my perspective, at least, we don't know what's happening with these fighters, right? What they're feeling at the time. And I've heard recently some other fighters defend him and kind of share some of their thoughts. Like Alex Volkanovski, for example, was talking about some of the eye pokes from the Diego Lopez fight and how it basically he still has issues with it. So like, why should anybody assume if they're not in his shoes that he's just faking it? I mean, I think Aljamain Sterling definitely milked it when he had um, that head to the knee to the head with Peter Yan. Definitely milked it for that point. But honestly, I think at the end of the day, Aljamain Sterling did what he had to do for himself. He's not very like charismatic at all, to be honest, and so I don't find him very entertaining. I find him like just always complaining and like, yeah, I mean, we all do that in our own lives, but like for him specifically, I just feel like he could be more charismatic, and he was like making allegations that like, or not allegations, but he was just making like assumptions that like Sean O'Malley probably feels like he sold his soul or whatever the case is, because Conor Ben got signed for that $15 million. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think what's really happening right now is that Aspinall doesn't feel like he's getting paid what he's worth, and he knows, and everybody knows that they offered John Jones like $50 million. Arguably, in my opinion, Tom Aspinall has more hype on his name. Like, remember that press conference with Tom Aspinall, or sorry, John Jones versus like Stipe Miocic, and basically how everybody was like chanting like Aspinall, Aspinall, Aspinall. So in my opinion, and like I think a lot of us forget that, especially fans and stuff like that, we forget some of that stuff because it's like, you know, short term memory and shit like that. But like at the same time, it's really important to like remember that stuff because Tom Aspinall up until that point was like a fan, big fucking fan favorite before that Ciryl Gane fight, and then immediately after that, everybody did a 180 on him, and I feel like that's really unfair